An alliance is taking shape, an alliance against China, an alliance to make China pay. How can the world do it? Courts of law are not the only option. On Gravitas tonight, we bring you 5 ways in which the world can make China pay, 5 levers that can be used against China. 1. Demand an investigation into the outbreak. 2. Support Taiwan. 3. Economic distancing from China. 4. Calling out China's abuse of Uyghurs and Africans. And 5. Blocking Chinese tech giants like Huawei. Let's take them one by one. First of all, push for a probe into the outbreak. Where did the virus come from? How did it spread? Australia was the first to demand an investigation. They will raise it during the World Health Assembly next week. New Zealand backs Australia. The United States is conducting its own investigation. Now, the European Union's top diplomat wants a probe too. The EU's foreign policy chief has called for an independent and scientific investigation. The second retaliation, Taiwan. The world should support Taiwan. It should be acknowledged for containing the virus. Despite its proximity to China, Taiwan has recorded only 440 cases and 7 deaths. Taiwan's success story has triggered a global campaign, a campaign to get Taiwan into the World Health Organization. Canada, Japan, France, Germany, the UK, New Zealand, Australia, all of these countries support Taiwan. Even Swaziland and Nicaragua have pledged support. China has slammed these voices of support and threatened all these countries. Retaliation number 3, economic distancing. The United States and Japan are upping the ante. US President Donald Trump has ordered American companies to leave China. Japan has set up a $2.2 billion fund to pull Japanese companies out of China. The economic distancing plan is not just about making companies leave China. It's also about keeping Chinese investments out. Countries in the European Union, Australia, even India have tightened their foreign investment rules. This is to prevent hostile takeovers of local businesses by the Chinese. Retaliation number 4, calling out China for human rights abuses. The US Senate has approved a bill. This bill calls on President Trump to take a tough stand on the persecution of Uyghur Muslims in China. The bill has the support of lawmakers on both sides. Meanwhile, the Human Rights Watch has slammed China for its treatment of Africans. They have released a report this month that talks about discrimination of Africans in China's Guangzhou province. China is also facing a backlash in Africa. Nigeria has been critical of the Chinese regime. On the 12th of May, a Nigerian lawmaker made a demand. He called for an investigative committee into Nigeria's borrowings from China. Not just the recent ones, but in the last 20 years. Review all of them, he said. And finally, the 5th retaliation, the demand to ban Chinese technology. Huawei is the most obvious target here. The United States has already extended its ban on Huawei for another year. And they're pushing other allies to check Chinese tech giants from making inroads. 5 ways to make China pay. This is still work in progress. Watch this space for updates.